Hello, Capricorn. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann. Supportive Oracle cards, the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. Okay. What do we have for you? This is curious. Okay, let's see what we got. Double card. Yeah, a lot of double cards popping out. I'm noticing. Okay, not bad. Coming into the situation, it's very slow. It's not like slow is a bad thing. Like not like you're upset with that. But it's kind of like it's almost like you're looking at something and it's going very slow. It's weird when I get that B energy because you're gaining a lot of information. There's things that are good here, but I feel like you're seeing a lot of like almost like a lot of fooling around in your opinion. Kind of like we're not getting as much done as we should be. There's a lot of fun, but I'm not getting what I want done. It's kind of like you got the Five of Cups here, kind of like there is a lot of fun here, but it's kind of like you're thinking it might be excessive. Kind of like there's so much we got to get done, but there's so much fooling around that I don't think it's really getting things done the way I want it to. And it's kind of like you're not standing in the way of it, but at the same time you're like, yeah, I'm having fun too, but I really should be getting this done, or I really should be getting that done. You got the Seven of Pentacles in the environment, which is telling me this is normal for this situation. It's almost like maybe you get 60 to 70% out of the situation of what you expect. Like you never get 100%. It's like it hits 60 to 70%. It kind of fluctuates back and forth. So like you get, you know, if you put $1 in, you get like 60 to 70 cents back. That's kind of what I'm feeling. So it's kind of like, it kind of feels like that to you. Like I feel like I'm losing money. I'm not getting as much out of this as I should. I put in $1, I get 60 cents, I get 70 cents, I get 65 cents, I get 70 cents, I get 60 cents, I get 70 cents. It's kind of like, it doesn't make it. But it seems like this is how it's been going. It's kind of like this is how this situation goes. You do have a lot of pentacles coming in though. Okay. So I feel like you're starting to kind of change how things are going. You're kind of noticing this. So I feel like it's time to restructure. We've got a lot of pentacles coming in, which should be good. Let's see how this goes. You get the Ten of Pentacles here. So, all right, I put in $1, I get anywhere from 60 to 70 cents back every time I put in this dollar. You know what you already have. You know what you're already dealing with. Ten of Pentacles is like, all right, I think that's stable in that sense. But now you're adding in the Three of Pentacles to your Ten of Pentacles. You know what? I put in $1, I get 60 to 70 cents back. But I know it's going to, every time it seems very stable with that. I know I can get that out of these people. But now I feel like if I can restructure this, it's almost like the first thing I need to do is like, I need to look at like, why is this only giving back this much? Is it distractions, or are the people who are doing what they're doing, are they not enjoying it? Are they not doing it the most effective? Because like sometimes, like you can give somebody the most effective way to do something, but if they hate doing it, it'll still diminish your return from them. You know what I mean? If like this is the most efficient way to do it this way. They can do it that way, but if they hate doing it, they don't have the excitement to get it done. It still is going to be kind of errored, kind of slow, kind of lagging. Versus like, all right, can we find a better way for them to do this? Maybe they'll do it faster as long as it's still good. It doesn't have to be the most efficient way if we can still get the return we want and its quality. Like you might look at somebody doing something a different way and be like, well, that looks like the hard way to do that. But they do produce a lot, and it is exactly how it should be. So If they want to spend that extra effort, if that's what makes them happy, if that's what gets them motivated, if that takes us from a 60 to 70 return to an 80 to 90 return, if they want to do it the hard way, okay, fine. Let them do it the way they want to do it, as long as they give the return I want, and it's quality. It needs to be quality. Earth signs don't usually put up with bad quality. Not at least that's stereotypical, but like it's got to be quality. We need quality here. All right, so this comes in. You're starting to show somebody a different way to do something. Something's still acceptable. You might think it's the harder way to do it, but you're like, if I get a better return, all right, have at it. Whatever you got to do. The Knight of Pentacles comes in with the giraffe. What is the giraffe about? See the big picture. Because when I'm feeling giraffe, well, yes, see the big picture makes sense. Because I'm like, you have an overview of the situation. I feel like they're seeing a different way to do things. And I'm getting like they're slowly starting to change. I feel like they're looking at you for kind of like guidance. Kind of like, oh, I would like to do it that way. I prefer to do it that way. And I feel like you're saying, well, you could go this route. It's around the mountain. Instead of going right over or right through this cave right to the other side of the mountain, you could go around the side here. You'll still get there. This is what you have to deal with if you do that. They're looking at you like, oh, that's over there? I like that better. It's kind of like, I hate going through this dark tunnel. It may be the quickest way, but I hate going through this dark tunnel. But if I can go around the side and see the scenery, that would be great. I mean, I would love that. I would have a lot of fun with that. And it's almost like you're also looking at this like, if they go through the tunnel, they can only take so much with them because there's only so much that's going to fit in that tunnel. If they go around the side, they can take much more with them. So by the time they get over, they're going to have more. That's going to be the balance. Kind of like, instead of taking 2 trips through the tunnel, they're taking 1 trip around the side of the mountain. The 2 trips versus the 1 trip take the same time, and the same amount of stuff gets there. You might also look at it like, yeah, but if you go through the tunnel, there's no obstruction. You're just gonna go. Nobody's gonna stop you. There's not gonna be any problems. You go around the side, you have weather and other things that could be a problem. But that's what they want. They're like, yeah, I want to go around the mountain. I think that's great. They're starting a new path. It's gonna take them a minute to get up to speed. I feel like you have no qualms with that. You're like, as long as it's quality. As long as quality's a big thing. As long as it's quality, okay, let's do that. This works out great. This works out really good. This is very interesting because I feel like when I'm seeing the Knight of Wands with you, you're really happy. Like they're doing it different than you. And you're not sure if it's going to stay, but it's kind of like, well, if that doesn't hold up, they can go back to doing it the way they were doing it before. If they can't, if something goes on where they can't go around the mountain anymore, they just, for some reason that doesn't work out, they can go back to going through the tunnel, through the middle of the mountain again. That's fine. Because it's them, you're okay with it. You're still doing things the way you do it. It's more like them, what they're doing. You're very happy because you're getting the return you want. You're like, I was getting a 60 to 70% return before, but now I'm getting like an 80 to 90%. A lot better. I'll take it. It's improvement. It's not the optimal, obviously, but I'm still happy. I like this a lot better. I'm satisfied with this. Big improvement here. You're into this change. You got the frog and the butterfly spirit. You're into the change. I feel like you're just, when I feel that it says clear out the clutter, right? But what I'm feeling with frog is like you're helping them make the connections. If there's other things here that they can do that inspires them to do more and do better, you know what I mean, to get better quality, you seem to be looking out for them. And I feel like when you see something acceptable that won't damage the quality, I feel like you just kind of put it out there in front of them and give them a chance. And like I feel like you're trying to help other people the same way, kind of like, you know what? As long as we keep the quality and it does keep improving the situation, every now and then I'll put something out here that I think is acceptable, and I'll see if that works. Because I feel like this is branching off into other things and other people. Because you're creating a different type of stability. This is on your terms. So this isn't change in a bad way. This is change, like I see things that can make this better for different people, but you're releasing this information when you're comfortable. You're putting it out there when you're comfortable. You're helping people move forward. You're helping people do things different ways. But these are ways that you've already kind of thought through in your own head, kind of like, you know what, I think that's a harder way to do it, but it would still work. And if that's what this person needs, if that's what makes them happy, I think they should do that. More stability, more lucrative. Ace of Pentacles, a big friend to all the earth signs. Whoever you're dealing with, there's a lot of thought becoming action. Like, these are two cards of thought, right? I feel like people get a lot of ideas. First of all, you're opening the door, you give them something to think about. Kind of like, oh, the Capricorn says we could do it this way, and it's still just as good. They're also going to come back to you with ideas, kind of like, well, I like this idea, but can we do this as well? Ace of Swords coming in. The Ace of Swords is matching your Ace of Pentacles. They're coming forward with more ideas, which actually this is compatible for some reason. Naturally, or stereotypically, air and earth aren't compatible as signs, but in this situation, information is being offered to you, kind of like, hey, we changed it like this. What do you think about that? And when that information is handed to you, you're like, okay, let me use my pentacle energy. Let me use my earth energy. I need to sit on it. I need to think on it. It might take me a couple weeks, but let me mull through it and look at all the different ways that this could go good or not go good and let you know what I think. Because they're coming back to you for the stability. We have the ideas. You have the stability. Tell us if this will work out. Tell us what you think. And you're like, well, some of this might. Let's take slow steps forward and test it out. The Lover's card comes in between you and whoever this is. It doesn't have to be romantic, but it's basically saying passing the test. Things are evolving. Things are improving. You're going to go from a 60 to 70% return to an 80 to 90% return. I'm telling you, this is going up. I'm getting a lot of good things coming in. The Otter Spirit, which also is a heart. It's literally a heart. Like they're squished together like a heart there. And it says, you're never alone with the Seven of Cups. More ideas are going to come forward, but I feel like this is good. I feel like you're enjoying this because these ideas and thoughts keep coming in, but they're improving the situation, and there's nothing that happens in 2 seconds. It's like these ideas are kind of flooding in, but they're just thoughts, and they're like, okay, let's sift through them. Let's see what we have. And you want a better return. And the only way you're going to get this better return is to go through these thoughts. To try to push and just work harder with this situation isn't going to cut it. If you just keep pushing and pushing and pushing and try to make it work harder and harder and harder, it's kind of like pushing an animal too far, a farm animal. You just push them too hard, and if you push them too hard, they're going to either collapse or pass away on you, and then you got nothing. And you know that's not going to work here. I don't feel like that's the mode I'm connecting with Capricorn anyway. But if you do things differently and you find a different way and you entertain these ideas, you're like, well, I need a better return. I want this to be more worth my time. If I just think through these thoughts with them, pull in these thoughts and see what other people have to say and really give it a thought, I think something good can really come of this. I think you're really open to this because you're like, I want to know about these thoughts. I want to think about them. And it's nothing changing in 2 seconds. I think that's the big key here. Information comes forward to you for you to think about different ways to do things, but nothing is changing in 2 seconds. But it's like, okay, I do want a better return. Let me explore that thought. Let me explore this thought so we can see if we can make that happen. And people are presenting you with these ideas, which to you means they're obviously very open to these changes. They're open to doing things differently. I just have to decide what I think is right, what I don't think is right. And then if we're going to say, if you're like, okay, I think this change could work, then you're like, all right, let's try some small steps forward and try it out and see what happens. And if it goes well, we'll go a little farther. It's kind of on your terms, but it's kind of like you want this to get better, you want this to improve, and you are getting that improving. And I was going to say improvision. I don't know why. You are getting that improvement that way. Improvision. I want to say improvision. I don't know. Maybe somebody will know why that's throwing in there. Because like improvision, it's just like I'm having one of those moments where the word is there and the brain's going, it's a word, and that's all. It's great. That happens when I read. Anything else? All right, I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.